You know, for the background arcade machine, I always just kind of go with something that suits my fancy at that moment. But we got a special one here. Can you see it from there?
I can see it.
Once again, the Smash Brothers gaming guy, he's like the patron saint. We used to say that Sega Lord X was the patron saint, but you know what? Super Bob Hoskins Bros joined his Patreon, sent him a message, tried to get him on the pod. He didn't get a response. Even for pay, he didn't get a response. So I say Smash Brothers Gaming is the patron saint because he sends us cool stuff all the time. But this time, very crafty. He made, you know how you used to have the videos on Game Boy Advance carts?
Do I know?
You know better than anybody. Yeah, you did a big old Shrek video.
Get real.
It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
Get real. You're going to watch it on a little tiny TV?
If you think you've seen a movie on your phone, get real.
You know, I go out there's a bunch of losers looking at their phones going, oh yeah, this is a movie. It's not. Get real. But he was this guy was able to put an episode of BoxMac on GBA. He made the box art and everything and sent it over to us. I want to play it on my arcade here.
Yeah, man.
It's a single episode. It's like a home video release of BoxMac.
Yeah, and I think he even cut it down so the quality would be better.
And he put the synopsis of just that episode on the back of the GBA. It does beg the question of like, why the would you have bought one of those back in the day? One episode of TV.
It's wonderful though. It's wonderful.
What was the big thing that people used to buy on it? Like Pokemon? Like episodes of Pokemon, I mean?
I remember like Nickelodeon shows like Fairly Odd Parents or whatever, something like that. I know obviously Shrek.
Yeah.
That
era. Fairly Odd Parents to me feels like representative of that whole 2002 era of games and movies and TV. It's one I'm not all that nostalgic for. I feel I was kind of a little too old for it.
Yeah, I was too old for it, so I don't really even know what it was about. I think I saw, because I had young nieces and nephews at the time, so they would watch it. So I've seen some of it, so I know what it's all about. But yeah, it was after my time.
I feel like as I go through the GBA library, I'm like acquainting myself with that era a little bit more. Because for a while, the only video games that Gloria would really want to play on a classic console, she'll play modern games, for some modern games. But she would play, there was like a series of Barbie games for the GBA. Now there's Barbie for Sega Genesis, there's Barbie for NES. These are horrible, unplayable games. But the GBA ones are like, for a kid, they're kind of like decent mobile games. And there's one that's like Barbie and the Princess and the Pauper. And there's one that's like Barbie Pegasus, something about a Pegasus. And at that time when she was 4 or whatever, that really spoke to her. I'm in Walmart the other day, and because of the popularity of the movie, they were selling like DVDs of old, because they've made there's so much like animated Barbie over the years. And there was like for $20 or no, I think it was like for $10. There was like 10 movies on a 2-disc thing. And I was looking at them and I was like, oh my God, Princess and the Pauper, Secret of Pegasus or whatever. I was like, oh, these are the movies from those GBA games that we've been playing.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, it must have all been tied in at that time. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, GBA was definitely that era where, Kim Possible. And
actually, yes, that is very representative. And also, by the way, pretty good GBA games. Like they're
I hear they're pretty good licensed games.
Yeah. I mean, there's shit on there, but I feel like that was the era when like they started to get creative with Donkey Kong. They were like, Donkey Kong King of Swing. And like a little bit of Donkey Kong shovelware.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like technology was good enough that people could actually produce very good shovelware.
Yeah. But it's funny because you think of the GBA as a portable SNES, and like that's the mode I try to get in when I go to play a GBA game. I don't know. It's definitely got a different identity, don't you think?
Oh yeah, it's definitely got, especially it's got that was it the 3x2 screen or whatever it is? It's
Yeah.
slightly wider, not exactly widescreen, but it's wider. It has. Sometimes it's a little bit too big for its britches, so some of the like 2D graphics are like blurry and weird.
Yeah. Yeah, like sometimes it'll be far shittier than the shittiest SNES.
Yeah.
And other times it's like way better than graphically and presentationally. Like it can accomplish like pretty good vector 3D graphics in some cases.
Yeah.
That like the SNES couldn't do. So it's an interesting console, but I actually have been playing through the GBA version of Yoshi's Island. It's been a long time since I played all the way through Yoshi's Island, and that's a beloved game. And I've definitely been enjoying it. It's definitely very creative. It's very like, yeah, it's a good time, and it's surprising in a way how divergent it is from Mario that they thought that was the right move at that time. Maybe Yoshi was just that damn popular.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's definitely one of my favorite games on the platform. But yeah, it is interesting. It's an interesting game, and they tried to recreate that magic, but it was a time and a place, man. It was a time.
I'd say I would pick Mario World over that game like 9 out of 10 times. I could be in a mood for Yoshi's Island, but I still, I don't know. I have to get like in the mood for Yoshi's Island a little bit.
Interesting. I think I would pick Yoshi's Island because
Really?
I don't know. There's something more relaxing about it. And it's like, there's no time limit. You're just vibing in it.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.